Marie-Laure, we are in this encyclopedic exhibition dedicated to Lacan. I would like to understand what's the relation of Lacan to art. How did this huge story begin?
It's a huge relation between Lacan and art. First, he was very related to the surrealist artists like Masson and Dali. When he wrote his first thesis about paranoia, he dedicated his thesis to Salvatore Dali.
Oh, wow.
Because in the surrealist review Le Minotaur, at the same time, Dali wrote about paranoia critique. That's why we have a very beautiful painting of Dali. And at the same time, Lacan wrote also about la paranoia critique. So it was the first thing. And even Lacan was a kind of artist because in 1929, he wrote a poem into Le Phare de Neuilly, which was a very important review. So it begins when he has finished his psychiatric studies. He was very involved in the surrealist circle. And
with Breton?
Not a lot with Breton, more with Michel Leiris and Bataille.
Because he was too dogmatic, Breton, right?
Exactly. And Lacan was very different. So it began at this time. And after, in all his famous seminaire, he always speak about art. And if you see the cover of all the seminaire, it's quite often a very important painting, like Holbein, like Bernine, like a lot of work of art, like Goya, of course. And in all the seminaire, he speak about art. So it's why we wanted to make this exhibition. In fact, it was an idea of two psychoanalysts who wanted to make a Lacan show, but they didn't know how to manage. So with Bernard Macadet, which was my co-curator, we decided to take all the very important, most important invention of Lacan in psychoanalysis, very well known, like the concept, like the mirror stage, which is very important, the name of the father, about language, about la langue, about the famous objet petit a. And we have not illustrated, but in relation all these concepts with important work of art. Either work of art which Lacan has commented in his seminar, either some artist who has worked about Lacan, and there is thousands of artists. We discover when we work on this project, a lot of artists was very interested by la pensée de Lacan. And sometimes we have chosen very subjectively some work of artists, contemporary artists, we can echo and in relation with the concept of Lacan.
But Lacan himself, was he a collector or did he have some works?
A kind of collector. As you know, he has acquired L'Origine du Monde.
Well, in what condition?
It was in 1955, because you know this important painting was first to Khalil Bey with Turkish, and after he traveled in Angera. And in 1950, it was in the market in Paris. And Georges Bataille and Sylvia Bataille, which is the wife of Lacan, so related to art. She was an actress, as you know, Sylvia Bataille. She was separated from Georges Bataille. They said to Lacan, you have to buy this painting. So he bought it in 1955, and he asked to his brother-in-law, André Masson, to make a panel to hide.
Masson was a brother-in-law?
Of course, because Sylvia Bataille is the sister of Rose Masson. It's all the Maclès sister.
Wow.
Very important woman. One was from Bataille and after Lacan, and one was the wife of Masson, and the other important critic also. So he was really related to the art.
But why do you think he needed to hide the painting?
Because at this time, it was since the beginning when it was in command to Courbet, to Khalil Bey. It was from a private collector.
Commission?
It was a commission, exactly. And it was always hidden, either behind a curtain, either behind landscape in winter. And because at this time it was very difficult to see directly the sex of a woman. Nobody, they caché ce sexe, hide this sex, I cannot see it. But now, as it is given to Musée d'Orsay, since 10 years or 20 years, it's open to everybody. Everybody can see the sex of the woman, which is called Origine du Monde, of course. And now we can see without a panel.
But yes, do you think he cared about the taboo?
I think it was very important for him because Lacan is a very provocative man. We can see that in all his declarations.
Yes.
But for him, it was l'origine du monde, so very important. And it's something that you cannot see. Nobody can see really the sex of a woman. It's a hidden thing. But and now the painting is looking at you. So this snaps, or this switch between an object that you cannot see and which is looking at you, it's very important for Jacques Lacan.
So he needed kind of ceremony around the painting.
Because Picasso, Duchamp, a lot of artists came at this house country in Guitrancourt, and he was very proud for a few people to push the panel and to discover the Courbet. So at this time it was really a hidden picture. And it's important for Marcel Duchamp, because when he came in the 60s to see this painting, because nobody else can see it, it was in Lacan house and completely hidden, it has a big influence on the way he made Étant donné,
Of course,
the position of the woman, which is in Étant donné.
A tribute to Courbet?
A tribute, exactly.
Which is in Philadelphia today.
Exactly.
And that he was hiding until his death,
Exactly.
68.
We discovered through two small
Holes.
holes this very important nude of woman.
But Lacan was close to Balthus too? Through
Yes,
Bataille?
you know Klossowski, you know Balthus, he was very
And
related to Balthus also.
Did he collect
He
some
had-
Balthus?
Yes, he had Balthus. In fact, he has a collector related to all this friendship. He was very friend with Claude Lévi-Strauss. At this time, he acquired a lot of works from Amérique du Sud,
South America.
précolombienne.
Uh-huh.
And when he was in Japan, and he was very influenced by all the Chinese philosophy and
So you
calligraphy.
decided not to show that?
It was in his house, a private house.
But
always.
here you don't want to show
He
that?
collected the Wookiee, a lot of mason. He has a lot of mason. And so it was a collector through some friendship relation, intellectual or artistic relation.
So you decided to show his influence, but not his collection.
Not his collection, because all the collection is
Spread.
dispersed, so it was very difficult. We could find only the Wookiee.
Yes.
And in the next exhibition in Centre Pompidou-Metz, it's about mason. You will be able to
for
see
sure.
some mason. And we have just one of two mason collected by Lacan.
So
on this
he
show.
was also collecting tribal art.
Yes, he had African art, pre-Columbian art, Chinese art. He has several objects. You can see that only in photograph of his famous cabinet of 5 Rue de Lille. When you see the images of this place where all the patients came for psychoanalysis, you can see all the collection.
And what was his relation to Brancusi?
I don't think he has relation with Brancusi at all. No,
Never.
no.
Because
But Balthus and Klossowski, very close.
Okay. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Judith. Bye-bye.